G'day guys. Well, we're going to have another around the campfire, but why not talk about 12 volt and batteries? So I've got Wayne from JTS here and I've got Andy from Custom Lithium. Now, these guys are a wealth of knowledge, and look, we all talk about what systems we want and this, that and the other, but do we know what we actually really want to suit our circumstances, whether it's for the inverter, whether it's for the DC to DC charger, the battery size? So look, this is what it's all about. So we're going to talk a little bit and then fire away with any questions you have on the 12 volt side of things, because I've done a little bit of it myself over the years. So anyway, let's start off. We'll start off with Wayne. So tell us a little bit about where JTS is going and what's happening with JTS now.
Well, JTS is more for your DIY guys that want to go and fit their own stuff to their own vehicle. So we sell anything from Anderson plugs up to DC chargers, batteries, the whole range. So we also can manufacture up a board for you. So you just grab a board with your MPPTs on it, your battery, your DC chargers, everything on it. Go and take it home, put it in the back of your caravan. Yeah. Plug her in, hook a battery up to it, and away you go.
So you basically, it's actually from what I actually did with it originally with the JTS. Like back in the day, you know, we're sort of going back 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, you know, because I mean, I was only thinking about it the other day. You know, I don't know if you guys are still doing it, but I used to do a box called a Power Easy box, right?
Yep.
And you think about it now, I started that 25 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And when you think about that, that's still going to this day.
Yeah, we're still doing it. Yeah,
still doing it. So
yep. It's a good seller because it's so easy to use.
Yeah, and it's a no-brainer, you know. And there's been different designs. I remember back in the day. I mean, I know I'm going a bit off subject here, but I created an aluminium case one, and that was what ended up going to a lot of councils.
Yep.
They used it in the back of the vehicle, so they had portable power. And of course, you know, we're talking big, monstrous batteries back then, AGMs and things like that. Yep. Not like what you've got, Andy, is these lithium batteries.
A little bit different, isn't it?
Oh, and look at the sizing you can go to now.
It's all changed these days, but are you going to tell us a bit about how JTS started, mate, and give us the old, I want to hear it all.
Yeah, well, for me, JTS, like, it started off, I sort of fell into 12 volt, and it was, I went to this shop and I bought a fridge, I bought a battery, and I bought a solar panel, and they said that's what I needed to go traveling. I went, beauty. I went back to them after I'd been on my trip and I said, this didn't work because of this and this and this, and then next minute they asked me if I wanted a job. So hence that's where I started in the 12 volt world. Yep. And then it's just getting that understanding. So I went to that understanding side of things and went into depth with people, and then it just snowballed. Yeah, started making folding kits, you know, which are a dime a dozen now. But back in the day, $1,800 for a folding kit.
Yeah, right.
Nice. Big bucks. Yeah. So, you know, and so it all started there. So I was working for somebody, and then they sort of changed their ways of what they were doing, and I thought, well, I need to do this my way. And so I created DSS, Dynamic Solar Solutions. And then from Dynamic Solar Solutions, we changed to Jamie's Touring Solutions. Yep. And then it went to JTS 12 volt, and that's where it's at. Yeah, with you guys now, which are going to grow it into something bigger and better again.
Yep. We just want to be nationwide, basically, and
that's awesome.
Just get the DIY market up and running.
Yep. So, and then plans from there.
Well, world's an oyster. So we're actually around Australia. We'll probably end up having some fitting stations and that sort of stuff. So we're talking about doing that now. Yep. A little way down the track yet, but yeah. Yeah. We're now open in Perth. We're just setting up there in Perth. So we'll have a bit more of a shop front there in Perth very shortly. Right. That's awesome. And because we also with the online store, we just deliver all around Australia. So anywhere from an Anderson plug to cable lugs to cable. Yeah, right. You know, we can, if you want to do the whole setup yourself, we can supply everything you need, and away you go.
But you can also pre-make the boards. And send send the Power Easy box. Do you still do the other box, the Expedition box?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was one of the last things I was doing before I left, and then that was Ram was going on to that side of things. So good stuff. No. And so Andy, the lithium battery side of things going into into those sort of boxes.
Yeah.
They're all like, I sort of only dabbled a little bit on lithium when I was there, but they're all, you're all making them size to go in those battery boxes and things like that?
Yeah, so I think like it's really important to think about like the way things have changed since you did the first Power Easy, and it definitely would have been AGM, you know, 17 to 20 kilos maybe. You know, it'd be quite heavy. You got to lug it around. So ever since then, you know, technology's changed. Lithium batteries are in play now. They're a lot more affordable.
Yeah.
And so now you've got, you know, your Power Easy box, but it's lithium powered, and you know, great brands, great products inside of it, but it's so much lighter. So all of a sudden now it's about 10 kilos, and so that's a lot easier to lug around, right? And when people are a lot more conscious of their vehicle weights now as well, with all the safety concerns,
Yep.
you know, all the weights come into play a lot more. So I think it's really important, you know.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, I used to use a battery called Full River, and that was an AGM, and I think it weighed 36 kilos, 120 amp hour. You know,
great brand though, like they have a great name.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I mean, it always worked, but then when you compare, what does a 120 amp weigh in a lithium?
Yeah, so do about 10 kilos.
Yeah,
They're 10 kilos.
Yep.
Yeah, not far off that. So
big difference,
you know,
isn't it?
huge difference. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
changed
wow.
a lot over the years. So, and we'll see that improving again. Like, I mean, we always talk about the 2000s. You know, computers were always getting all the upgrades, and then now all of a sudden, you know, 2020, and it's all about power and lithium batteries, and they're all, you know, constantly getting better technology. So, you know, the next 5, 10, 15 years are just exciting for what's going to come out of it.
Well, it's amazing to think what is going to evolve, because I look at, like, you know, I've popped in now and again and I see the different things that are happening and I go, wow, that's just crazy, you know, from what it just evolves every week, basically.
Yeah, it's very fast. It's a very fast-paced environment and industry, and it's actually exciting to be in front of. So
I can imagine.
to be part of. Yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's crazy.
Very exciting.
So, have we got questions? Yeah. What do we got? I can't say. I can't see it all properly.
Do you know what system you need for your 12-volt setup?
I'll better give you that to log me in then, so I can see. Oh, hang on. Here what's this one? No. Okay. What's the most cost-effective way of powering your chosen setup? Canopy, trailer, truck, etc. A full lithium solar setup, or power station such as an EcoFlow, Bluetti, etc.
Yeah, well, I think when you're looking at that sort of market where you're trying to do it the most cost-effective way, you still want to find like a good quality brand. So you've got to weigh that up a little bit. But as far as like the charges and bits and pieces, I think there's a cheaper way you can do it, and there's some cheaper brands out there. But I personally, I wouldn't go quite to the bottom end of that. I'd sort of stick at least in the low to mid market. Probably not really answering your question greatly as far as like what brands and what products to use.
No, I mean, but what's cost effective?
So
you know, like for me, cost effective. So at the end of the day, I want it to work 100%, not 80.
Yeah.
So you know, I look at things that way, because I mean, back in the day, you know, I used to go. My go-to was a red arc, right?
Yeah.
A red arc DC to DC, and I think I could count on one hand how many warranties we would do, and we would do over 25 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe 30
the one
a
that
month.
comes to mind is the red arc DC charger, because in the past they were quite expensive and very good gear, right?
Yeah.
Now they've brought out a new range, which is the core range, which is a lot more cost effective. Like we're talking nearly half the price, I think, of a 40 amp. What a BC-DC charger was beforehand. So the version that was dust proof and waterproof and all that, and you'd commonly see it fit under the bonnet of a vehicle. And then they brought out the core range, which, you know, typically you'd install inside a vehicle because it's not dust proof, it's not waterproof. So they've dropped those couple of features off.
Right.
But they've nearly halved the price. So I think, like, when you're talking about cost effective, it doesn't mean that you need to go quite that far, you know, down the product line. There's still products available from great quality brands, and even Australian made products that fit the bill.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's interesting. So answering his question, so what would you sort of look at going in that sort of sense? is there, like with the solar side of things, there's a lot to choose from these days?
Yeah, well, there is a lot to choose from, but you want to sort of, the way I look at it.
Lithium either.
Yeah.
I mean, I stand here and
yeah.
I don't want to tell anyone not to buy lithium. That's my product. That's our brand, right? That's what we want to sell all day, every day. But if you don't need it, you don't need it. It's as simple as that. And we'll never stand in front of someone and sell them something they don't need.
Yep.
So when we talk about a full river AGM,
Yep.
that might still perfectly fine, like fit people really well, because they might just need to just run a fridge for a few days.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about the best cost-effective solution, maybe it's not lithium at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're in that area and you can afford to go that way, you've got that weight, which is a huge thing in today's vehicles, because they're making vehicles that you can't even add anything to them.
Yep. No, and there's a lot of reasons why, and we'll talk about all the reasons why, AGM versus lithium, I'm sure, but I just wouldn't stand in front of someone and sell them something they wouldn't need. I think that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the questions we ask is, what do you want to do? Do you want to run a fridge? Do you want to run TV, ice maker, coffee machine, whatever?
What is it? What is the most common scenario that you get asked?
Basically, it's a full, it's hard because, you do get from the guy that just wants to spend a little bit of money for just running a fridge, a couple of outlets to charge up his phone and whatnot, to up to caravans that want to run air conditioning.
It blows my mind now.
They walk in and walk out 20 grand later and they've got everything, multi-plus and everything. They want to live like it's a house out in the bush.
And that's what I'm seeing.
And it's not, what everybody wants this. It's just over the full range.
Yeah.
So
I know exactly what you're saying there.
Yeah, I think there's a super diverse or difference between, I just want to chuck a swag in, go away with the boys for the weekend and I don't worry about too much, but I need the fridge, right?
Yep.
And then there's right through to when, I want to take the missus away for a week and that's when things might go, okay, well, maybe she needs a hairdryer. Or, if we're away for a bit longer, maybe we need a bit more comfort, and it's not because you need it, but it just makes that life a little bit easier, I think, when you have an extended trip.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
done plenty of boys' trips, throw the swag in, and actually a few of the boys will laugh at me because I'll have an esky with some ice in there, and they're all laughing at me because but you guys make batteries, and I'm like, but I don't need it for this. Like, we're going away for a day at the beach. Like, you don't always need it, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I looked at Adam from Arc Point. He built my canopy on the back of my Landy, and you look at the bells and whistles on his vehicle, and I mean, he's got a custom lithium battery in there. I don't know what he's running DC to DC wise, but you look at what he's running, how it's all set up with the coffee machine, the whole lot, and I go, that'd be nice. I'll just go camping with him a lot more,
Yeah, that's right. That's my trick, right? So we're on Fraser Island, weather's not great. Adam's always there to make us a coffee. So it's good.
That's it. How good
I've got a pod machine, so I don't need anything flash, but
that works.
I've made him a few coffees.
It's a bit better than the instant, all right?
Yeah.
But no, it's great.
Yeah, but it just comes back to whatever you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cost-effective solution could be, at that lower end of things with the back of a canopy or a four-wheel drive, with a tub, or cost-effective solution for a caravan might be a little bit different as well. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yep.
I'm still not getting no questions through here.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Hey.
What's the best to put in my 1998 TB45 GU Patrol?
Oh, this is up
good old Datsun.
This is up Wayne's alley, this one.
Yeah, must be a nice bloke, got a Patrol. Yeah, good bloke.
Well, I mean, it used to be an issue for us back in the day was they get so hot in the engine bays.
No, definitely. I've got a Patrol, so I know how you feel. I was going through an AGM battery it'd run out of warranty every 12 months, 13 months, throw the battery out, put another one in there. I've now got 100 Ultra Slim behind the back seat, and it does me. It runs basically the angle fridge, and I do have a 12-watt oven. So I normally use that while I'm driving. I'll cook a roast or whatever while I'm driving. Couple of power outlets, I've got a compressor running off it. That's enough for me. So depending on if you've got a draw system in there, mine's up against behind the back seat, mounted up on the draw system. All the fuse panel, everything on there. And depending on it all comes down what you're running. Yeah. That's enough for me. If you've got drawers in the back, the Custom Lithium range got Ultra Slims and Compacts, and they're slim. We've put them in beside.
Under the wings.
Draw systems under the wings there. So it's
But you definitely stay out of the engine bay?
Yeah, definitely out of the engine bay for sure.
Yeah.
So I've got a big hole where it used to be, and it was just. I've had that in there for probably 2.5 years now, 3 years, and I haven't had a problem. So where before, down Autobahn, another $300, and it'd be always just before you want to go on a trip.
Yeah.
The fridge would last half an hour.
So yes,
with my fridge running, it's a 57 litre angle. It runs for 3 days.
Yeah.
Without touching it, driving it.
Solar panel?
No, I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because I usually have a boat or something on the roof of kayaks.
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah, right.
If I'm staying for a couple of days, portable solar panel.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's
just
it.
Plug it in.
And that's the thing. Horses for courses. Everybody's different on their setup, so it's making it work for them.
Yeah. Yep.
So the answer to that is there's many ways of doing it, but you know it's really going to come back to what's going to actually suit you.
Yep.
We've got any more? All right. Custom Lithium are the best on the market. Oh, now that's promoting, isn't it?
Hey, that's all right.
Own opinion. Runs all the batteries in my work ute to keep me going. There you go,
That's
Scott.
awesome. Yeah, thank you, Scotty.
Thanks, Scott.
That's always good to hear stories like that.
Oh,
though.
it is. Yeah, it is good.
But I mean, I actually saw that. There's a few people that have made comments on a few of the posts.
Okay.
And they've gone, love our custom lithium battery. It does this and it does that, and such put the system together, you know.
Yeah, awesome.
Because you've got it in so many different 12-volt stores.
Yeah, all around the country. So, I mean, we work with a lot of installers and resellers around Australia.
Yeah.
And so, like, one example, we had a guy in Alice Springs, of all places, do a fit out and help us out with some gear and install over there for a customer of ours. And the work and the customer service that this guy did. And you'd never think of it, you know, in the middle of Alice Springs. Yeah. Middle of Australia.
For sure.
You don't know what sort of work you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I can say honestly, like the work and the customer service that we got with this partner of ours, exemplary, like very, very good. And so like I was knocked back with how good it was, and
that's
the customer, awesome. Super impressed. So, like I think when we're talking about like all the resellers around the country and our own work, we take a lot of pride in it. Mm-hmm. And our customer service team, we sit down, we have meetings with them, and we're like, oh, you know. I'll be a bit firm on them because I'm like, guys, you know, you haven't got back to this customer, or, you know, maybe there's something else going on. And I'm sitting there and I'm grilling them a bit, right? I'm giving them a hard time. And then all of a sudden on my phone, I'm getting a ping saying we got a new 5-star review for customer service. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe I'm being a bit hard on them, you know?
But it's working. So it's working whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, I think you got to balance it, right? So, we want a really great service. We want a great team. We want the team to love working there. So it's, you know, you got to really balance it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Something we work hard on.
Yeah. That's great. Got any others? All right. What sets custom lithium batteries apart from other premium lithium batteries that are competing with you on the market?
Well, that's a loaded question from the guys at Sun's Adventure there, I think. So
is it? Is it? Well, I mean, the one thing I can say, if you didn't watch the video that just went up last Friday, you need to check that out, because that on its own stands out.
How we build them? Yeah.
How you build them, how you put them together, how you go through the checking process. I mean, it is amazing.
Yeah, so I think when we talk about other battery brands in Australia, we don't talk about competitors. We're not the kind of company that sets a culture of competition with the other brands. Yeah. So we talk about, you know, you've got your Enerdrives and your Red Arc and a few other brands of battery, and they're all really great batteries. The fact that we build them here in Brisbane. And so we bring parts in from China, as most companies do. You can't buy lithium cells that are manufactured in Australia at the moment, and that's a key part in it. But the way we design the batteries, and with all the custom design bus bars, and we'll go into it a bit more in depth, but the way we build them and what the purpose is, and the high performance and the small compact, you know, these things are tiny and they're absolute powerhouses. So that's, I think, what sets us apart. And we're really proud of some work we just did in the last week. We just installed the first 1240 amp hour ultra slim battery in the market. That's right. Yeah, amp hours. And it's dead set. It is smaller than two 200 Enerdrives next to each other. Wow. So, like, the way we do it is just not really seen in anywhere in the world. And we're really proud of that. So I think the fact that we can do that right here in Australia is something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
And you know, that one there we're really excited about because that's a partnership with Kedron Caravans, and they're such a great Australian brand as well.
Been around forever,
mate. So they put a lot of trust in us, and I think that we're delivering for them. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, I bet. So do you know what the weight was of that 1200 amp hour battery?
Yeah, there's a sore point for me because the boys didn't weigh it first. It went through all this stringent testing, non-stop testing for weeks.
Yep.
And no one put on a set of scales, but we're pretty sure it's about 115 kilos.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's still mind blowing. Whichever way you look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
120 amp AGM, 36 kilos.
Yeah, well, you'd need to run 10 of those, and you still couldn't, use all the capacity.
And back in the day when I was still doing it, there used to be the coffee machines, coffee vans, and they wanted to run on batteries, run their systems, and I actually never really got involved in them. I saw a lot of systems made with 200 amp AGM batteries, and their whole floors. So their vehicles were completely overweight. Trying to run these.
Hopefully the weight was down low,
Oh, it was down low. It was down low, but I
still drive all right.
Scary
it's
stuff.
just like a Tesla these days, right? So.
Yeah. True. That's for sure. All right, what do we got? Okay, we are planning our first lap of Australia. Oh, yeah, that's the go. What's one thing you'd tell us about power management?
Well, I can run it from a battery side of things.
Yep. I've just got to put some coals on this. We're cooking here as well.
Hopefully, a nice dessert come up.
Dessert?
Oh, sorry.
Dessert?
So one of the key things around your trip around Australia, and that's very exciting, but you want to make sure you don't let your battery go flat. So just looking ahead to the weather for the next few days, or up to a week, and sort of get an idea if there's going to be a lot of cloud cover or rain. And then you want to manage your battery around that. So you might be, if you've got you've got quite a bit of battery, you might be living off grid or camping off grid, which is really awesome. But I think if you look at the weather, keep an eye on it, make sure you've got enough solar during the days when there is sun. And then if you can see that you need a bit of charge, maybe line that up with doing some washing or, refilling your water. Go to a campground where they offer power and water, plug in, recharge, do the washing, that sort of stuff. That's a really good way of managing it. So if you don't need to be camping at a full-blown campsite with power, and you can go to some of these off-grid locations, that's the absolute best way to do the trip around Australia, I believe. Probably a lot of people agree with that one, but if you can just manage your power in that way, where you keep an eye on the weather, make sure you got the solar. If you've got a couple of really good days, maybe you've got a solar blanket you can plug in just for those days to really crank the power back up. But if you really get stuck, I think what I normally do, just manage it in a way where I'll go, okay, well, I need to do a bit of washing, fill up with water. So we'll book in at a campsite, for a day or two, plug in, charge up, do some washing. Have a hot shower that's not in the caravan, and away you go. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good answer.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I was just going to mention also with that, make sure you've got a gauge of some sort, or there's a lot of things on the market out there you can buy.
So what is something you should look at in that sort of sense?
We like the Victron stuff.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of different ones on the markets there. We do a lot of Victron stuff. It's easy, it's simple to use, it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
You can get an app on your phone as well.
You're talking about like a shunt?
Yeah, through the shunt, yeah. Yep. So definitely make sure you put a shunt on there.
Yep.
If you're just trying to keep the system lower in cost, that's a good way of doing it. They do have a gauge app on your phone.
Yep.
But then just keep an eye on it. If it's getting down to 30 or 40%.
Wayne, they always go, you guys talk so constantly about you should have a shunt, but they don't actually say. You don't actually say what a shunt is or what it does, and that's where we get caught out a lot of the time. Talking to a customer at a four-wheel drive or a caravan show, and you go, I just put a shunt on there. We use them all day, every day, right, in our different applications, but people watching may not know. So maybe do you want to run us through what a shunt does?
Yeah, basically, anything you're running through the battery system, you run through put the negative on one side of it. It shows on the shunt anyway, and then another negative goes to the battery, and you can set all the perimeters and. Basically, you can set if it's a 230 amp hour battery, you can put 230 amp hour on there. Synchronize the charge, so then when it's actually 100% or 90%, it's actually telling the truth. And then you can have it down so that you can't you can set it so the battery doesn't run completely flat as well.
Yep. But what this is doing is actually telling you what your loads are too, doesn't it?
Yeah. It tells you the loads. You can also go back to history. So if you do have a problem on the road, we can look through the history of it on your app, for argument's sake, and you can see, well, it's been charging there, then it's dropped off charge there. So have you got a blown fuse somewhere, or has the wire come off, or DC's playing up, or something like that as well. So it helps with identifying a problem as well.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, like when I was doing it was all AGM really, lead acid, calciums, AGM. And we used to we could never get it 100% right because we needed to know the pockets of the batteries to know their system sort of thing, to put that in. And a lot of the battery companies couldn't even tell us what they were, the parameters. So it was really hard to get it 100% correct or to talk in percentages. We could talk in volts, no worries at all, but to get the percentage right.
You know what the number one thing is there, Jamie, that pops up and you say, like, a lot of these battery companies don't tell you. That seems odd to me, but it's actually like, it actually shows something that they're not out there using these products. Like the rest. And so one thing that we talk about a lot is like, we're out there using these things. So when we're driving across the Simpson, or, you know, next week, really excited to be going down the Endeavour Rally, right? So we're going to be driving across New South Wales. We're using these things, and we're using them off-road, and we're doing all the silly things in four-wheel drives that people would typically do. Right? So when we're doing those with the batteries, and like, we're testing it, we're getting all the data, and we know what these things are because we're doing it, we're living it, we're breathing it. So,
and I think that's the most important part of it, is knowing what you've got to what you're using to understanding it. And it's just so crucial. I mean, back in the day, I was right when the beginning of the solar side of things, it was everybody wanted to make regulators, but half the regulators didn't work. Like half the batteries couldn't handle loads, you know, in a sense of speaking. And then they brought out the multi-power point tracking regulators, and you go, do they work? And then you'd look at how they work, and this, that, and the other. It was quite incredible, you know. Like I love that stuff, you know. It was really enjoying to do. But
back then you could hook up too much solar for your batteries, right? And you'd cook your batteries. But now you like, how much solar can I put onto these lithium batteries? Because they can take the charge. So you can get that charge back in quick. How much solar can we fit on the roof of this thing? So that we can do that, right? So the whole game's switched a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I look at that too, because I used to do a lot of standalones in houses, you know, standalone battery banks, and we'd use, you know, a lot of batteries come out later on, but we started off in doing a lot of humpies and huts, and we used to use Trojans, 6-volt cells. And then before we went to we went to 2-volt cells and stuff like that. And the 6-volt cells, and it would be, we'd run a regulator called a Plasmatronic PL20, and we'd run 2, 3, 4 of them, sort of thing, to bring in the power and stuff, and you could do them up to 48 volts. So it goes on and on.
We're taking you right back here.
It's enjoying though. You know, I love that stuff, because now you just use that one regulator and it does it all. You know, for whatever the voltage of the panel is. So.
It makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that's right.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, the technology's all changed a lot. So. And definitely for the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's basically something, when you do get it set up, you go and play with it for a while. Just go and, on a very sunny day, have a look. I mean, even if it's just as simple as a gauge, see how many amps and watts are going into the battery, and you know, that'll give you an idea for when you're out in a trip. You can say, well, it's a very sunny day, my battery's going to charge up within 3 hours. Or if it's overcast, and then you go, oh, geez, I'm only going to get 10%, or, you know. You know, it's just a case of go out on your first trip, just have a play with it, you know, just be real conscious of what you're doing, and then
that's probably you're just going to know. Question we got asked before about the first trip around Australia. Like if you do the test a couple of weekend trips before you go, get a good idea for what battery power uses, and then how much solar gets back in, and then that'll help you with planning that trip.
Yeah, well, my daughter's just she's doing a trip now. She's heading to Uluru tomorrow. I mean, she's out there, so she arrives in Uluru tomorrow. And before she left, she said, we're buying 12-volt electric blankets. And I said, oh, don't worry about buying them. Just buy normal 240-volt ones. She said, don't you think it'll chew too much power? I said, well, it never used to be a big issue, you know. So go and get the one you've got in the house, put it on, and check it. And she did, and she said, beautiful.
Not that bad.
No. And so they've got themselves covered on the electric blanket side of things.
We'll be firing ours up next week in the Blue Mountains, I think. So
Yeah, well, you might want to. There's been a lot of snow down that way.
Good luck with that. I'm going north.
So if anyone that's watching, as long as we're answering your questions, if we're not, make sure you comment again so we can cover that question
so
for
we're
you.
rambling a little bit, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a
We're
big
probably
question.
answering people's questions moving forward anyway. So.
Okay, Desert Ocean Bush. Is the canopy board you build, is it customizable?
Yes.
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 And
You tell us what you want, give us a size. Yeah, over here.
Right. I can build a canopy board, but it's not going to be real good.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah. So, yeah.
yes, yeah. You just tell us what you're, if you're running solar, how much solar you're running, so you get the right size MPPT and
What's
what
an
room
MPPT?
you've got. That's a solar controller.
Yeah, I know, just for them so they know what the MPT.
Oh, the solar controller. Yeah, you just tell us what you need, and we'll go for it.
But if they don't know what they need, they can call you.
Yeah, just give us a call. One of our customer service team will just run you through it.
Yeah.
What size fridge you got? Are you taking a hairdryer?
So that's something that you guys go through.
Yeah, definitely.
With everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. We'd rather do that. There's a lot of guys out there who will order stuff off us, and they've already been out there forever. And I want this, and this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, done.
Yep.
There's a lot of people go, I have no idea.
Yep.
I've just bought a new four-wheel drive. I've got no idea. We want to run this, and this. Right? Well, there's a start. So then we can just run through it and go from there.
Yeah,
so,
gotcha.
As Andy said, like, we're not getting out there to sell you the world.
Yeah.
We'll just sell you what you want.
So
what you need.
When you build
basically.
these custom boards, though, so is it built with what wires hanging on to connect to a battery, and what you have some Anderson plugs or sync sockets and stuff on it?
Whatever, whatever they need. If they want, USB ports, sync sockets, Anderson plugs.
And so you'll talk them through all that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Yeah, right.
Yep.
No, that's great.
Yep.
Well, hopefully that answered your question.
It makes it easy having a board pre-made, especially by someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Hopkinson. We had 4 times 120 amp AGMs, went to 140 amp lithiums, saved 100 kilos.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think like that.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
That is one of the key benefits of going from AGM to lithium. You obviously save a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But they probably as well got a lot more efficiency out of those batteries.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to use a lot more as well, right? So if they wanted to run a bit more power out with an inverter, run the hairdryer, you've got the option there once you switch over to lithium. A lot of the good brands, you can do that all day, every day. Which with AGM is a lot harder. So
gotcha.
save a lot of weight, but also open up a lot of doorways as far as what you can do with them.
Yeah, right. All right, what else we got there? Chase the weekend. Is 12 volts still relevant in 2025? Don't know how to answer that question.
Well, I mean, we do build 24 volt and 48 volt batteries, and we've got a lot of we've got a lot of them in the field doing a lot of testing as far as 48 goes. But 24 volt, I think, has got a bit of application, and we'll do a lot more work around that to see if it's going to be a lot more of the future.
Yeah.
What we do, Jamie, is we'll do a lot of testing in house, and we'll run these things ourselves in our own platform. So we've got our display trailers that we take to caravan shows.
Yeah.
So at the moment that's running 12 volt, but we've had discussions about building a new one at 24 volt, and we want to be able to do the legwork so that if it does shift that way in the future, then they can rely on the fact that we've done the work now.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that 12 volt's going anywhere.
Yeah.
But if it does have a little bit of a switch to 24 or 48 or whatever that future looks like, we'll be ready. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's the key, right?
Hope that answers.
There's a lot of old school people out there like myself, probably yourself as well, just 12 volt. That's it, 12 volt, 12 volt, 12 volt.
Well, it's done it
a lot of
forever.
the younger generation now is, there are a few people that on the caravan manufacturers are starting to bring out 48 volts. They're testing the waters with that as well. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, because you used to, a lot of the vehicles and trucks we used to do were 24 volt, and then we used to use a red arc reducer charger.
Yep.
See, nowadays we'd probably just do a 24 volt system. And you got your big Isuzu trucks, your NPS.
Yeah.
A lot they're really popular these days, especially for travelling around Australia.
Yeah.
So in those systems, a lot of the time we'll run a 24 volt system. Just to give you an idea of where we think that might be going. the new 1240 Ultra Slim that we just talked about before,
Yeah.
we've actually designed that in a way where we can just switch some internals, and that is then prepared and ready for 24 volt. So when we build and design our batteries here in Australia, we're actually looking at that future and going, is that something that might be needed? Is it something that we should be testing? And we put the groundwork in early. So,
Yeah. Right.
So we're already doing that. You know, every time we build something, we're looking at those options.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's very interesting, you know, at the same time, you know, and I think that's why we can waffle on about it, because it just goes on and on and on.
Be here till
All right,
midnight.
what else have we got?
Can do. You'll be cooking breakfast over there.
Okay, Brooklyn, what's the best for a solar setup for a 2013 VW Amarok?
So this is a bit of a shout out. This is some of my family up in Tyndall at the Air Force Base. So Brooklyn, g'day mate.
Oh, right.
Thank you for
There you
jumping
go.
on. Yeah, so he's got a 2013 Amarok. He's super proud of it. I think it's his first car.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and he loves getting out there exploring. And obviously they're in the NT, so mate, the stuff they can see out there is incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep, exciting.
Just
so,
ring him.
as far as solar setup goes though for an Amarok, what do you reckon, Wayno?
Well, you guys do a tray for the back of that? Then behind the back seat?
The older model Amarok? Previous gen,
Yep.
That's for a battery, but what about you reckon for solar?
Yep. If it's got a canopy on there, I'd try and do a rack with doing a 200 watt solar panel on the roof.
Yep.
Start with that. Yeah. If
Yeah,
you got room.
yeah.
All comes down to your room.
That's where I come into that, because you know, like it's good to put a panel up on that roof, but the catch I find is, like, I don't have a lot of room, I think there's not a lot of room, so portability always works for me.
Yeah, so
in
you
these
reckon the
situations.
blanket, you fold them out.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
some good quality ones now as well. I mean, I bought one years ago, and it was like $700, $800 for this fold out. It might have been 200 watts if I was lucky. And it was a good brand. It was expensive. It didn't last.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so I found that, like, early on, the 12 volt blankets weren't great.
Yep.
Now they're a lot better. And,
Yeah,
and,
okay.
you know, even some of the cheaper brands now, and we've used a lot of hardcore blankets. You know, one of our preferred blankets is the hardcore 200 watt croc skin. They call it a croc skin, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Great blanket.
Yep.
Great solar blanket. Works really well. But then I've heard really great things about the King solar blankets as well. So
Yeah, okay.
you know, you can't write a brand off because of the cost price. I think, you know, some of these brands do make good products.
Yeah.
You know, at a good price. So
Well, we used to, back in the day, there was a panel called Unisolar. Don't know if you've heard of them. No. So Unisolar was a panel that we used to use a lot, and the downfall to it was, you imagine the old size of 120 watt solar panel. Well, that was the biggest problem, was the footprint they would take up. So okay on a house, but not that great on a vehicle. And but they were a really good panel, and I think Red Arc were using a very similar one back in the day, but that panel, I've still got one of those panels. I think it's 106 or 108 watt. They're about $2,000.
yeah, right. Wow.
So, you know, but
Gosh.
they're shadow tolerant.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
they
Yep.
work in the shade as well, and you can put your hand over it and it just stops there. The rest of it still
Yeah,
keeps working.
yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I don't know what the technology is like now. I've been out of it
Yep.
too long.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
I think these guys have got a bunch
Well,
of
there's-
solar panels on the website, and
Yeah.
our
yep.
Volta is one
There's
of the...
there's all different brands. There's all different odd sizes. So I mean, if you've got a roof rack set up on your car and you want to put a kayak on one side of it, and you just want to run something skinny up there, well, you just gotta
yeah, I
work with
know.
the
You
room.
know,
different
Yeah,
shapes.
there's
Yeah.
so much available.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for your Amarok, it's going to be up on the roof, or it's going
Yeah.
to be portable.
Yeah.
Really, is the
Yep.
answer, isn't
Yep.
it? It's
Yep.
going to
Yep.
be either.
And then,
either.
I mean, at least if you've got something on the roof, you're actually getting some sort of charge in there. At least, I mean, sometimes it mightn't be covering the fridge, but it might be just running the fridge and staying
yeah, that's right.
Just
stagnant,
enough.
you could say.
Yeah.
And then when you do get somewhere, just pop out a solar blanket, or I mean,
Yeah.
when you're driving, if you've got a decent DC charger on there, it's going to charge while
Keeps
you're
you
driving
going
anyway.
until the next
so,
day when you drive
yeah.
again. So
Yeah, it all comes down to room, what you're running.
Yeah.
So
What are you doing, Jed?
Pup?
Yes. All right. Hey,
hey guys,
the guys at Arc Point.
Hey, guys. G'day, Arc Point.
yeah,
Oh, it's good to see they're watching. All right, Chase the Weekend. Vitron for the win. I use them for all or nearly all my off-grid systems. So
oh, they're a good system. They're reasonably priced. They work well. They're simple for people that aren't real, you know.
Super tech savvy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
They got customers all around Australia that use them. So
I think they're one of the leaders globally on this sort of gear, right?
Yeah,
So talk about all around Australia. We use them for a lot of our caravan upgrades that we do, retrofitting.
Yeah.
We do a lot of upgrade of caravans. To bring them up to the lithium world, and we use Victron for a lot of that. Great quality gear. We very rarely have warranty issues and concerns.
Yeah, okay.
But on the other end of that, when we do vehicle fit outs, canopy installs, all that, we use a lot of Red Arc gear, right?
Yeah, okay.
So Victron's excellent, but it comes down to like which sort of setup you're going to work with and how you're going to do things. So if you've got a bit more space, the Victron gear is great because it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Mind you, some of the new DC Orion is quite small.
Yeah,
50
the
amp
50
charger.
amp one,
While you're driving, it charges the battery.
Yeah, right.
So their newer stuff is coming out quite small, but great quality gear. It just
awesome.
depends on what setup you're doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we only used the Victron back when I was doing it because there wasn't much in Australia on there. Like you could get made. It was all about the inverter chargers. That's all it really was inverter chargers. So I never got into any other stuff, regulators or DC to DC. So,
but like I said, the technology's all changed so much in the last couple of years. So.
Crazy, man.
Watch this space.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? Okay, Kim Marie, looking forward to fitting a battery.
Yeah. That's my sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just bought a new BYD Shark.
Did she?
Her and her husband, and they're very excited. The Shark has been getting a lot of media attention lately across all four-wheel drive platforms. So, thanks for tuning in, Kim. But
she's keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, well, we're actually we're organising to get her Shark in to do all the testing and fitting, and so
yeah, well,
we can't wait. The Shark's been, I'll be honest with you, it's been so popular.
It has.
It's amazing.
Really?
I wouldn't have picked it. Yeah.
So, do you know what they weigh?
The Shark?
Yeah.
I've seen one. I've seen heaps of them on the road. I couldn't tell you.
No, I don't know either. So
I've seen a few of the guys do the Beer O'Clock Hill.
Yep.
All I know is these things.
I haven't spoken to Mad Matt, but Mad Matt's got one.
Yeah.
And
he went up Beer O'Clock.
Yeah, and he's been across the desert and all sorts of stuff. So it'll be interesting to find out what the actual thoughts are.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, but I mean they are popular. Yeah. And we will be doing a battery for them.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. I can't answer when. We'll get on.
But it'll be interesting to.
As soon as you bring the car down, Kim.
Yeah. Be quite interesting.
All
right. What else we got? Sun's Adventure. What's the standby drain or self-discharge rate when the battery isn't in use?
So a lithium battery won't discharge at any great rate of knots while it's in standby mode. And so I think if you're going to go and leave your caravan parked up for a month or two, or longer, you really want to isolate the battery. So you turn it off, make sure that there's no fridge running. Even the smallest LED lights in a caravan, they can drain.
Yeah, for sure.
But a battery by itself, just sitting there out of the box, it will have a minute drain just by running itself. Our batteries have got active balances internally, so that what that means is the cell pack will be balancing to prolong the life of the battery, right?
Yeah.
And so in that, the way that works is it generates a little bit of heat, not a great deal of heat. You don't want heat inside a battery, but it generates a little bit of heat, discharges from the voltage of each cell.
Yeah, okay.
So that it can keep them all within 0.001 volt. You want them very, very close to work together as a pack. So to answer the question, a battery will run flat over time if you just leave it there. And that's why we say, if you're going to leave a lithium battery not hooked up, not running, just sitting there for a little while, you want to do it about 50 to 60%.
Right.
But you don't want to. You need to check on them, make sure they don't go flat, because that's what kills them. If you let the battery run flat, you recharge it, and you can run into some real issues if you don't recharge it quickly.
Right.
So if you leave it flat for a couple of months, try and charge it, well, your cells can swell. You can cause all sorts of issues.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the key thing that we say to the customer is, you can run a lithium battery all the way down to zero.
Yeah.
Which is, people aren't used to that, right?
Yeah.
Run a battery all the way down to zero, but just make sure you charge it up again. Don't leave it at zero. Get a bit of charge into it, and then you're right to go again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Oh, there you go.
So
Something new today.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah. That's
I think you did.
Good answer. All right. What else we got? Do you send the canopy boards do you send the canopy?
It was like
boards?
ship them around.
Yeah, we ship them around. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So what? All over Australia?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And so we're sending them around Australia. So I guess it just depends on what size it is, really. To how.
Well, the majority of the boards we've been doing, are, sort of that size.
The size of your TV.
Yeah.
If you got a big TV.
So what we're saying, a metre and a half by 500 or 600?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yep.
I suppose, it's different. I mean, you look at the 12-volt system that you guys built in the back of my Landy, you look at how much real estate that took because DC to DC, 2,000 watt inverter.
Yeah, adds up.
Well, it's a BMS, so it's all red arc gear, and that takes up a fair whack of room. And then outside the box is the lithium battery.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
then so
If you think about the board itself, though, it's probably not too big. It's
No.
It looks big in a canopy because the canopy is what 1,800.
but
or,
your inverters.
Yeah, well, that's quite big.
Yeah, so it takes up a fair whack of room, sort of thing.
Well,
on that
usually the
side.
builds we do are very compact as well, so everything's trying to keep everything close together.
Yeah, gotcha.
If we do a build inside the workshop,
Yep.
sometimes we want that there, that's a bit more complex
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
it all comes down to
Horses for courses.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be any harder than shipping a lithium battery around, around the
That's
country.
for sure.
No.
That's for sure.
Well,
Yeah. How do you go
send
with
pallets
that?
around Australia, so I mean,
So shipping lithium batteries is no issue?
No, well, I mean, we ship. I'm not going to hijack the conversation, but we ship lithium batteries around the country, which is dangerous goods.
Yeah.
So there's that little bit of extra time that it takes to ship them.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit of extra cost, but we ship them Australia wide for free. We don't charge shipping.
Really?
Yeah, so just included in the cost of the product, really. So
Right.
yeah, so I mean, when you're building a canopy board, I imagine they're a little bit bulky, but not dangerous goods. So
Yeah, gotcha.
can't be that hard, mate.
no, it's not that hard.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing you're still doing much in AGM batteries these days?
Very little.
Very little?
Yeah.
And so the same DGM batteries? Yeah.
Yep.
All
Yep.
same?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Just comes under DG, so dangerous goods. So we've got to put different stickers on them or whatever. And usually the transport will pick it up, take it to their depot, and then they'll cart all the dangerous goods in one trailer. So it's all contained in one trailer.
Yeah.
Whether it's paints, batteries, whatever else is dangerous.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So,
gotcha.
yeah. So that means sometimes it won't go that night, it might go the next night because I've got to fill a trailer up or whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it's easy.
Easy for us, probably not super easy for the blokes driving the trucks. They got to lug these big 100-kilo batteries around.
Yep.
All right.
Who's this bloke?
And DB Life Outdoors. What size DC-DC charger is best for lithium batteries? I just got to check this.
Yeah, you're right.
You fire away,
check the
whoever.
dessert. So the different. So there's no there's no best size DC-DC charger for lithium batteries because when you're running an AGM, you might have 120 amp hours and maybe you'd have two to go to 240 amp hours, but they had charge limits on how fast you could charge them. Whereas with lithium, you might be running a 100 amp hour battery or you might be running 1200. Such a huge range, and so there's a few things to consider. The first one would be, is the charger big enough? So, for a 100 amp battery, maybe a 25 amp DC-DC charger is big enough because it'll charge the battery at 25 amps. So on a 100 amp battery, that's 4 hours, right? Had to do some maths there. So if you've got a 200 amp battery, all of a sudden that's 8 hours to charge the battery up. So you might say, okay, well, I'm going to jump up to a 50 amp charger because it's going to halve that charge time.
Yeah, right.
And then depending on the vehicle, and this is where it gets a little bit technical, but you could run two 50 amp DC-DC chargers to charge a big battery in your canopy, right? So let's say, for example, you had a new D-Max, you got a new canopy on the back from ArcPoint, maybe from ArcPoint Industries. It's looking all flash, you get a lithium battery in the back, you're going to run a 50 amp DC-DC charger. So that's going to charge a 200 amp battery 4 hours.
Yeah.
But then you go, oh, it's not quick enough because I'm running my induction cooker and I'm running all this gear and I need to charge faster. So you put a second 50 amp DC-DC charger in there. So all of a sudden, charging at 100 amps, you're charging your lithium battery quick, right? fantastic. And then you've just blown your alternator on your D-Max because it's only
I think it's 50 or 60.
it's only a
on
little,
the D-Max,
little alternator, right? So a lot of the four-wheel drive vehicles coming out now, they aren't built with a big alternator to handle that extra charge that you're trying to pull out of them.
Right.
And so I think this is one area. I think you got your Ford Rangers that are like your top-selling four-wheel drive dual cabs at the moment. Your Hiluxes. These top-end brands you pay a few extra bucks for, but they've got. I think the Ranger's got a 220 amp alternator.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, it's got electric steering, but you can also pull quite a bit out. So I think a few people are coming undone a little bit when they're running their, big lithium battery in the back and they run their, big DC chargers, and they're not thinking about the vehicle. So you still got to take care of your vehicle and do all your maintenance there, and just think about that. So anyone that's doing these installs for you should be talking to you about this. Making sure that you're not putting in too much charger for your, for your alternator handle.
Yeah.
And so I think for a lot of these vehicles, though, you can just upgrade the alternator. You spend a few more bucks, but you get what you need out of it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
9 times out of 10 you can just upgrade the alternator.
Yeah. Right. And I'm guessing that's available for most vehicles these days.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Right. Interesting.
Andy's used the D-Max because it is a problem. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We've advised quite a few people. Right, you've done that. Have you done an alternator? No, well, you better do it.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
So in that scenario, if it's that small, what do they go to? What size?
I think it's 120 or 150.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember, but yeah, it's definitely bigger.
Yeah,
and it's only like 50 or 60 ampere, and then you got to consider what it's
maybe
actually.
90. Yeah. It's very low though.
Yeah.
But so obviously you need someone that can produce a new alternator, and what that specification is, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully enough for running big batteries.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're really limited. You just run a smaller DC-DC charger. You might be stuck at a 40 amp DC-DC charger or even
25,
lower. And so they're going to rely a lot more on solar. So maybe they chuck a couple extra panels on the roof. Maybe they can't quite go off grid as fast. So maybe they're relying on pulling up at these campsites.
Yeah, okay.
Plugging in.
Interesting.
You've got to work around. And so when people are buying these vehicles, they don't know this. They don't.
No.
The sales guys on the showroom floors would be lucky to know a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I think that's half the problem. But
yeah, right. No, it's interesting because I never knew that. I thought the new cars would have had because they.
No, it's all about energy saving and fuel saving, and it's like the Ranger.
Yeah.
It only charges at so many volts with the headlights on, or you're going downhill or whatever like that. Which
on the left side of the road.
Yeah, in neutral or whatever, and with the PX3 for argument's sake, I'm not sure about the new ones, but you can go to Ford and get the smart alternator turned off, so it just charges at 13.2 volts instead of 12.1 or whatever. So
crazy, eh?
Yeah, that's something. It's just a case of everybody doing their homework.
Yeah.
Usually our sales guys are on top of it because they do so many installs and whatnot. But there's going to be a new car that come out. Look, that.
Well, these are all the things we've got to check, right? Even when Kim Marie's talking about the Sharp.
Yep.
It's not just about building a battery that fits. It's about what can you do with this vehicle. Because it's a new vehicle to market. We need to know all the specifications. We need to know where a battery might fit. But then we need to know what charges can we run on it, because we can't just go and slap it all in and send a customer on their way. And,
no.
They end up halfway across the Simpson and they're calling me. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot to it.
All right. Michael James, do you do a MV Triton kit?
Is that the new Triton?
Yeah, because it's MR was one and MV.
I got no idea.
We have done a couple of installs on them.
Yes. We don't have a specific. We don't have a specific tray for.
So what are you talking about for batteries? Or 12-volt system.
Probably behind. If he's talking about behind the seat, because Custom Lithium do Rangers and Hiluxes and whatnot.
Right.
But I have seen our installer make up.
We haven't built a vehicle-specific battery for that vehicle yet. So a lot of the products we do are vehicle-specific. Maybe that's what Wayne's sort of talking about.
Yeah.
With the Ford Ranger, we build a battery that goes behind the seat and it uses the existing bolt holes in the vehicle. So it's a really quick install, right? Yep. Takes about an hour, cut a bit of carpet out of the way, slot a battery in. But we haven't got one yet for the MV Triton. So I know that we've installed some batteries behind the seat.
Yeah. Our installer actually made his own little tray thing to fit behind the back seat.
Yeah.
I think it was a 200 amp hour slim he put in there from memory. I'd have to double check, but it can be done.
Yeah.
And so, it can be done, no worries.
So do you have like a kit, like ask you, Andy, do you have a kit that is generic for behind a seat? Like,
No, there's no generic.
as in sits in a cradle or anything?
No, because
okay.
even like, I mean, we talk about behind the seat of most vehicles, they're all different, right? And then you talk about like the Nissan Navara, for example, depending on what year model you get and which variant of car you get, the behind the seat's different again. And if you're buying an LDV or one of those model vehicles, it just depends which rear wall you get on the day.
Yeah.
So you can't really anticipate that.
Yeah, gotcha.
So we do our best to go, okay, well, here's the kit that we know fits and works the majority of the models. And if there's if we're happy with that, we'll release a product to market.
Yep.
And so what we say, this generally fits.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't quite fit, that needs adjustments, let us know. Like, we'll work with you on it.
Yeah, okay.
But we can't account for vehicle manufacturers changing the model or changing the shape, or maybe they move a bolt hole left and right. So what we do is we just try our best to make sure that if that does happen, we just work with the customer to make that, to get it right.
For sure.
And
That's
so,
interesting.
customers like JTS, where they're selling all the bits and pieces that go with that, if they're selling our product, then we'll work with these guys to make sure that it's that it's hunky dory.
And you don't do a tray or anything yourself? That's a generic thing for any battery sort of thing. Yeah. No, that's all right. I mean, it's a question that I think
that's right.
is logical to ask sort of thing on that side of things. So.
Yeah, well, customers have got probably a half a dozen different trays, different model cars off the top of my head. But
Okay.
if something like that Triton, they came in and our fitter he went, yep, I can put a battery there and I can put that there and if I bent up a bit of aluminium and make it look pretty nice.
It's one of those things, like any professional installer is going to look at it and have a solution.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I mean, we work with so many of them across the country now, and it's like, okay, customers got this. Have you got a product for it? Yes or no? No, but we know this fits, but you just got to sort of tweak this.
Yeah.
Away they go. So, I mean, it's the same thing. Any professional installer is going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
And I've seen photos of installers that actually sent Custom Lithium pictures of what they've done. You go, wow, yeah, okay. And then, you show our fitters and they go, yeah, right, I can do that. It's just
thinking
with the network that
Yeah.
Custom Lithium have got, it's just everybody's throwing ideas out there as well, and then it just helps everybody. So
interesting.
someone to ring up and say, can you build that car? No, but Joe Blow, he did it this way. Oh, okay, right, let's try that. So it's,
Yeah, no, very good.
Everybody talks to each other.
Chase the weekend. What's the go with putting lithium deep cycle in the back of the vehicle and vans now? There seems to be a few different interpretations of new rules.
Waiting for this question.
Yeah, this will be a common one. I think a couple of years ago, maybe 2023, new standards were brought out, new regulations around installing lithium batteries in habitable areas. And so a lot of there is a lot of discussion around it and a lot of interpretation around it. And so what we understand is that we actually offer, what we understand is that the batteries can't be installed openly in a habitable area. So they need to be sealed and vented off.
Right.
And so what the purpose is to make the habitable space where maybe you're eating and sleeping, making it a safer environment. So typically that'd be more for AGM's venting. If you've ever seen an AGM battery kick off, it's venting and all sorts of stuff everywhere. But with lithium, it's very dissimilar. It's not really the same. But what they've done the regulations for the right reasons. That's to make sure that people are safe in their caravan or in the vehicle comes up a lot. But my understanding is that it doesn't really include a vehicle that you're transporting in, and that it includes vehicles that you sleep in. It is my understanding. So. If you've got a troop carrier, for example, and you've got it all set up with all the drawer system, maybe you got the Headspace campers. Those guys out there. That's all. I've seen a couple of them. They're awesome. Yep. So the whole roof of the troopy opens up, and it's got a big tent on there. Fancy. It's just they cut the roof off.
Yeah.
But so if you've got that sort of environment where you're sleeping inside the vehicle, that to us would be marked as a habitable area, and so you've just got to tick those extra couple of boxes.
Yeah, okay.
If you're not sleeping inside the vehicle, I think you've got, these days the new Prados, the new Hiluxes, they've all coming out with 48-volt batteries in under the seats.
Are they?
Yeah, so they've all got lithium batteries in there somewhere.
You've been out of it too long, Jamie.
I know, I know.
They come from the factory with a lithium battery under the seat, and I was having a look, and I haven't gone right through it in depth, and I might be wrong, but it looks like they've got the venting just coming out behind the passenger feet in the footwell.
Right.
So it's a bit strange, but
wow.
To answer that question, I think if you're engaging with a qualified installer, they should be aware of these rules and regulations, and they should be abiding by them. It's a safety reason. So,
yeah.
There's not much more to it than that, but rely on your installer to know the regulations in and out, and to make sure that you're safe.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Interesting. All right. What else we got? Crikey, they don't stop coming. We got heaps more questions or what? Thanks for the info, guys. I run your batteries in my work ute, tourer and van, and believe me, I use every bit of the amp hours they have, and they still perform 100% to this day. So there you go. They love custom lithium batteries.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
good job.
So that's an interesting thing. So the lithium batteries have a cycling.
Mm-hmm.
So how many?
Yeah, like a life cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is interesting as well, actually, because over the last couple of years, when I talk about technology changing, this is one of the key areas. So you go back a few years. Custom Lithium started in 2020, and so a lot of the product range then would have a life cycle of 3,500 cycles. So essentially, if you used your battery from full to flat every single day for a year, it'd be 350, however many days in a year, 365?
365.
I was
Depends
gonna
on a
say,
leap
well,
year.
Except for the leap year.
Yeah, I go to 350, right, because it works better for my story. So if there's 350 days in a year and you use your battery 100% to zero every single day, well, you could do that for 10 years, right, with the life cycle of a lithium battery.
Right.
And at that period of time, then you should have about 80% left. So if it was originally 100 amp hours, over that usage of time, it should be sitting about 80 amp hours of capacity. So that's the rough idea of how it works. But now, with a lot of the new products that we're doing now, they've all got 8,000 cycles. So you could use it all every day for a year, and then it's X amount of years after that. So 8,000 cycles. And you'd be lucky to cycle a battery every day of your life. I think that'd be...
That's crazy.
That'd be hard work. I mean, even you, Jamie, on the road, so much filming, doing all the things, you know, even then, still not using a full battery cycle every day because you're driving and you're going to different places and you got solar.
Yeah.
So typically it might use like 30%. So you might see the battery down to 70, maybe 60%. Maybe you've had maybe you've cooked an extra bit on the induction cooker or the air fryer.
Yeah.
And you got it down to 10% or 15% overnight. You know, you're still not accounting for a whole usage cycle. So the battery life has changed from maybe 7 to 10 years to now 10 to 15 years. And then, what's it going to bring in the next 12 to 18 to 24 months? So,
amazing, hey?
So you can buy a battery now if you're looking for, you're looking at a good quality brand, you can buy it now and expect it to last 10 to 15 years plus.
And so
So we increased our warranty this year, 1st of January actually, to 7 years. So it's a full 7-year warranty. There's no pro rata rubbish. There's no, you need to get it back to us. All this, we'll help you. We'll pay for the shipping back to us if because we know people are using them all across Australia. So we'll pay to get it back to us. We'll sort it out, get it back to you, whether it's repaired or replaced with a new one. Doesn't matter. We handle that process. So 7 years.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, proof's in the pudding, isn't it? When you hear that sort of thing, that's pretty good. All right, what else we got? Evening, fellas. G'day, Mark.
G'day, Mark.
G'day, Mark. Do you know him?
All right.
No, how you doing, mate? We do now.
Looks good, fellas. Yes.
Looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're having a ball. All right, so...
Oh, Mick and
There you
Shell.
go.
oh, what do we got? Can't speak... Oh, look. I want some questions. Not everybody blowing smoke here. Right. Can't speak highly enough about your products. Definitely recommend the products and service. Our van setup is amazing and takes off-grid everywhere. That's awesome to hear, though. It really
so
is.
good.
It
Thank
is.
you, guys.
It's great to hear. And I mean, that's the thing. I saw so many comments on the same thing. So no, that's awesome.
Oh, thanks for the support, guys.
There you go. Michael, I learnt today car alternators are generally about 50 to 60% efficient, meaning the alternator puts out a lot of heat.
We talk a lot about not putting lithium batteries under the bonnet of vehicles, and we've never recommended to do it since day one.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the reasons add up. Heat's definitely the killing factor, I think.
Well, you look at an engine bay of a new car today, it's just a shield of plastic all around everything, if you know what I mean. It can't breathe.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just contained.
You just got to go faster.
We good? That's the questions? Oh, good. Right. What else have we got here? So tell us a little bit about what you're up to these days, Andy, with getting around the place, because I know you're doing a rally and then you're off somewhere else. So
yeah, I've been all across the country again this year, and it's exciting actually, Jamie, because a lot of the things we do are around sponsorships and partnerships.
Yeah.
And so this year we had Camp for a Cure, which was amazing. Go along and support the Love Your Sister family. What a fantastic event that was. And we got the Springs weekend coming up for Tread 4x4, which is the National Breast Cancer Foundation weekend. So that we're 100% behind as well, right?
And when's that?
Coming up in September, I think about mid-September.
Yeah, right.
Maybe around the 18th. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so we'll definitely be there as well. But this coming week we're off to the Blue Mountains, so we're going down to Bathurst. So, mate, it's going to be cold, but it's for the Endeavour Foundation. So, Custom Lithium come on board this year as the presenting partner of the Endeavour Rally.
Right.
So it's just another event that we're so proud of.
Yeah.
We sponsor the local rugby union teams. We get involved with Gari cleanup. We went up there with you this year, so cleaning up the island. So all these little initiatives that all add up together to show what we're about. And to show who we are.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the big thing for us. So when we head off to Bathurst next week, and Kirsty, my wife, coming with me.
Yeah, okay.
But mate, I just come back from Perth. We set up a shop over there.
Yeah, right.
So we've now got a shop in Perth. We've got a WA manager. I've just shipped some more guys over there today on the just about to have shares in Qantas, I think. So but it's about the growth of the business, how we want to succeed, and what we stand for.
Yeah, okay.
And I think those are the key things, and really what we're about, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. I mean, look, honestly, when I look at that when we went through your factory down there, that was incredible on my behalf to see how everything's done. I love that part of it. I thought that was truly amazing. Just seeing all that side of it, but yeah, at the same time, you're also going to a race up in Bowen? Or?
Yeah. So this is fun, right? So I could sit here and tell you for the next 4 hours my next 3 months, but we're off
quite that long.
We're off to Bathurst, so we got the Endeavour Rally
Yeah.
across New South Wales. So we get to go past Deniliquin where the Ute Muster
Yep.
is, and we do some cool stuff. We get back up, we got the Gympie Muster, which we exhibit at. So we actually go, if anyone's heard of Gympie Muster, you got 30,000 people there, caravans, camping, music, such a fantastic event. And it's right in our target market. We get to talk to guys about caravans and four-wheel drives all day, every day. So,
yeah, gotcha.
That's perfect. And then we head off from there up to Bowen, up in North Queensland. So we're pretty much bang, bang, bang. So we're up there for the Don River Dash, which is an off-road race. They race up and down the riverbed in Bowen.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So we're actually the naming rights partner for that as well.
Yeah,
so it's the Custom Lithium Don River Dash this year.
Yeah. And then there's a race car in amongst this as well.
Well, there's an off-road car that's racing in that's actually green and gold. It's got the Custom Lithium on there.
Yeah.
So that's Jack and Amy from MOR Motorsport.
Yeah.
So that's bloody cool. That is a weapon, that thing. I think it's a Holden Maloo Ute. It's worked to the 10th degree. It's massive.
Yeah.
And it's the shock springs in it are this bloody big.
Yeah, right.
So that's really cool. We then got Lincoln Taylor, who's running in the GR Cup, which is the little Toyota 86s. See them running around in the V8. So I think he had a win over the weekend. So he's in the Method Race Wheels and Titanium Caravans car.
Yeah, gotcha.
So we're a supporter of that. And then we've got Cody Brzezinski, who's killing it in the V8 Super Utes. So, mate, it's been an awesome experience this year to get along and support some of these sponsorships and partnerships.
Yeah.
But to see the guys that we're supporting going so well and achieving and being a part of it.
Yeah.
We got to go on the podium with Cody over in Perth.
Wow.
When he won the weekend. and they actually got me in the V8 Super Ute and said, "Can you drive this thing out of the shed?" And I was like, "No way!" I was like, "No way! I'm going to break this thing, right? Because it's got a clutch in it. I haven't used one of them for a while."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, well, so edge this thing out of the shed." But you know, the team are so good. So you know, the V8 Super Ute team, Cody and his dad Adam, they're just awesome. Like our daughter come along, she's 11, Chelsea.
Yeah.
And they've got her changing the wheels on the race car, like with the impact drive. Like they're just inclusive, right? They want to see the community and the young next generation of racers grow into that role.
That's awesome.
To be a part of it's very, very special.
Yeah, I can imagine. So. But you're into a lot of different things. Don't know how you cloned yourself so well.
Yes, well, it's been a fantastic year.
Yeah.
And so we talk about, you know, what the next year looks like and what we're going to achieve next year.
Yeah.
We might pull a little bit back on the travelling. But not
need to have a holiday.
We're not going to pull back on what we want to achieve and what we give back to the community. So
yeah, right. And have we got any other questions come in? Oh, we do. Do you have any new products coming out soon? Is this on 12 volt or is this on
More of a battery?
well, I'll give it. Yeah. So
I don't really, nothing on my radar for my side of things. So at this stage,
got enough to contend with what you got.
Yeah. Just
And then on the battery side of things.
yeah, so we just installed our first 1240 Ultra Slim.
Yeah.
So the size of that is just amazing. And when we release that in the next couple of weeks, I think that a lot of the community will see like just how compact this is. I mean, we say 1,240 amp hour battery. You're thinking it's as big as this tin shed that we're in, but it's really not. It is so amazing. And so part of that range is it's actually what we're calling our Ultra Slim XL range.
Yeah.
So, you know, we build our Ultra Slims now from 100 amp hours through to 620. And so our XL range is going to be 800 through to 1,240 amp hours.
Right.
And they're all the exact same footprint. They just get a little bit wider or deeper as you go. So,
Yeah.
stay tuned. We'll send out some emails and social media about that soon. So.
Awesome. So good. All right. That's it for questions. So how long have we been going for? A while?
an hour and 15 minutes.
Have we? Yep. But I did expect a few more questions. I really thought we would have got some more in-depth questions. I don't know if we've missed.
The way we explain things too, you're answering.
Oh, we did
multitudes.
In the one, if you know what I mean. You know,
totally.
We did well.
I think that's
it's been good.
We stole the questions away.
Yeah. But it's very good because it's endless on what you can talk about with this stuff, you know, and where you can go with it. Because I mean, you know, with your world of 12 volt, you know, what are we talking? We're talking trucks, buses, boats, you name it. It just goes into all of it, from motorbikes to cars to going camping in a tent sort of thing. You can do so many different things.
There's a lot of stuff.
And there's still a lot of people doing
like
that too.
off-road, like, you know, your little Can-Ams and stuff now. Like people asking a lot of questions around, you know, they got farm trucks, farm tractors, farm, you know, these off-road little buggies, and they go, well, the little battery that comes in it doesn't really do the trick. So what can you do for this sort of stuff? So ag's a huge area, like, you know, the different applications for all the 12 volt and the batteries is just massive.
Yeah. Well, my last buggy, I had a 100 amp lithium in it and a Red Arc DC25, BCDC 25.
Yep.
And I had a 120 watt Red Arc solar panel on top of as my roof. Sort of thing. As the roof. I mean, I still got soaked, but I mean, it worked. It fit the gap quite well, you know. And but that was you guys fitted all that into that. That worked an absolute treat. No, it was really good. You shouldn't have touched him, you know.
I know. I just thought of that when I went, I'll give him a pat.
Loves it.
You'll be in
trouble.
trouble.
My dog's going to get a taste of that when I get home.
Well, I've got to say, we got something.
Hang on.
Tamara Duncan, is there any chance of a house battery in the near future?
So we've got some built and in the preparation stage of shipping over to Germany so that they can get all the required certification and compliance.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so that's exciting. I mean, it's a huge talking point at the moment. home batteries, home battery rebates.
Yeah.
With what the Labor government has just brought out. So it's definitely something that's on our radar. It has been for actually quite some time, and we're just doing the final tweaks before we ship them off for certification.
Right. So. You're becoming a real encyclopedia of all this different stuff, aren't
Yeah.
you, hey? There's so much
there's
going on in your world.
There's a lot to it.
Maybe we didn't need to talk about 12 volt these days. We could just talk about lithium batteries.
Yeah. I'm glad to come over though.
A couple of beers.
I've learned something.
Well, that's right. I mean, you never stop learning, so it's been very good. And I mean, thanks for everybody that's commented. Does size matter? It always matters in sizes. Absolutely.
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah, that's true. No, you can't be here now.
Got Big G's on there. Love your gear. Great stuff. Thank you, Big G.
No, that's great. All right, well, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's commented and made the comments to here tonight. I think we've all gone, no, away. We've all had a good bit of a chat and catch up on everything.
Yep.
So I think it's really good. But
awesome.
I've got food that's getting overcooked here.
Yeah.
I think it's quite important that we get on that. Oh, we got another one. Can the batteries be repaired, i.e. if the BMS fails, is it an easy changeover? Same with the cells.
Yeah, this is actually a great question because one of the key things that set us apart, I think, from a lot of the other companies is we build the batteries here in Brisbane. And so if they need to be repaired, they need a BMS replaced or the cells, we can just do that. And so we've got all our own equipment. You've probably seen in the YouTube video that we just did with Jamie that we can do all the laser welding in-house. So if a battery comes back and it just has a failed component, absolutely, we can replace and service and repair and ship it back out again. So that's it's a huge.
So even out of the warranty period, you'll be able to, if it's 8 years down the track or 9 years and it does and it's a BMS, you'll be able to just get the battery in and go whack over.
It's one of those things. I mean, if we've still got this, the same or similar parts and at that time, but if we don't, we can definitely offer a solution. I can't see why not.
It saves spending $5,000 on the battery, and you probably
I mean, generally
$1,000 or $500 or something. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So I was going to say. So really, we'll wrap it up because I mean we've covered everything. I think I hope you've got an insight on it. I mean, the next live that I'm going to do, I think I'll be doing it with you guys, but with part of your team, I think.
Oh, okay, that's exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to be up at the Don River as well.
Oh, okay.
So I think
going live from North Queensland.
Yeah, go live from North Queensland.
Amazing.
And I think, because I mean, this chat's obviously gone a long way with a lot of questions and stuff like that, and we can talk about racing and fun up there and what's working and what's not working. So are you guys going to be up there too? Yeah?
Yeah. The whole team's going to be up there.
Because I mean, it's just about everybody I talk to is going up.
Yeah.
From
JDS will be up there, Custom Lithium.
Method race wheels are there. All the locals are going up. So and I mean, I've never been.
It's actually becoming a huge event on the calendar.
Obviously.
I mean, we've been to Finke the last couple of years, which I love, the Finke Desert Race, and we can't wait to get along next year because it's the 50th anniversary.
Yep.
So we sponsor Finke Desert Race as well, which there's going to be a long list of things I didn't bring up.
We won't go into
so
all
with
these.
Don River as well, I think it's a lot newer event. So 50 years at Finke, that's unreal. The journey that the competitors go through there.
Yeah.
But it's very different at Don River. So I think it's fresh, it's exciting. I actually got to have a bit of a run through the river last year in one of my cars.
Yep.
And it's good fun.
Yeah, right.
So I think it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So how do we get in contact with JTS?
Give us a call. I can't remember the phone number, but
or go to the website.
It'll come up on your screen.
It'll come up right about now.
That's gold. What about Custom Lithium?
We got customlithium.com.au. So, if you need us, our phone numbers.
Well, it's funny, isn't it?
That's the hardest question of the night.
You don't use your phone
That's
these
the
days.
hardest
You just
question
go
of the night,
on the web.
Google JDS
straight on,
online 12 volt and you'll find the number and the email address.
Facebook and you can just message straight away now online. Like the social media games just changed the whole industry.
Yep.
So jump on there, find us online, send us a quick message.
Yeah, awesome.
Easy.
All right, got to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time, and probably it'll be from North Queensland.